Frank, and you're watching part 4 of PowerConcepts Excel Top 10. And this time I'm showing you Go To Special. First, I'm going to start with a few auto sum tips, and we'll quickly progress from there. First of all, I'm going to put in a total here. So I could use the sum function, I can type sum, or I like to use the keyboard shortcut, which is Alt equals. And it's going to automatically select the areas that need to be added up. And when I push enter to confirm, I get the answer. The downside of this is that the next step for me will be to fill this. And now I have to go back a cell to do that. So let's try that again. This time I'm going to hold Alt and equals. I'm going to check it, and I'm still holding Alt, and I'm going to press equals again. And now my cursor is right in the same spot, and so it's making it a little bit easier to fill that down. Now I'm going to go here to this column here. Now here I only want to add up these 3 columns here. So I'm going to hit Alt equals, and I notice that Excel is smart enough to recognize that there's data and then a formula. So I'm going to hit Alt equals again, and it's going to put in the total, and I can fill. But now that I know that Excel does that, I can go a step faster. If I just simply select this area, Excel just loves to add up. So if I hit Alt equals, boom, I've got all my totals. I can do the same with this total here. I'm just going to select this, hit Alt equal, and I've got my total for just facility 3. Now the grand total is a little more tricky because I'm only wanting the total from this grand total, this total, and this total. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to start with Alt equals, and I'm going to notice that Excel is surprisingly adept at reading the situation, and it picks exactly the columns I want. Hold Alt equals again and push enter, and I can double click and get my totals. Now let me show you one faster way to do that. I'm just going to undo everything I've done. It's not impossible for me to do this all at once by simply selecting that column and holding Control and selecting the next column, selecting the next column, selecting this. It's not okay for me to select these both at once because we're going to hit Auto Sum and it's going to add up all these columns. I can add a total on the bottom as well. But it's going to do it in the grouping that I've selected. So now when I hit Alt equals, it's going to bang in all the totals for the whole sheet. I'm going to add a total over here, and I've got my numbers in place. Move these over just for a second. What I want to do now is this sheet lends itself to errors because there is no formatting on here, so it's not very clear what is data and what is formulas. I can see the word total, but I want to apply some formatting to this. So I'd like to select all the formulas and apply some formatting. Now, selecting all the formulas is going to be a long, tedious process, but I can use a special go-to function. So I'm going to hit Control-G, and you're going to see a special option here. And when I hit this special option, Excel can take me to many places, row, differences, precedence, dependence. But what I really want right now is I want to go to all the formulas on the whole sheet. And when I hit OK, it's going to quickly select all those formulas, and then I could apply a format to it. Another way to do that is under Find and Select, there's some shortcuts to some of the really common go-to options, including go-to formulas, and if you don't want to use the keyboard shortcut, go to special. But right here I can just see go to formulas. And so now I can apply some formatting, and I can make this a little bigger, and whatever it is that I want to do to it, and then I'm going to unselect. I can use this also to select just the numbers. I'm going to hit Control-G. I'm going to use my special. This time I want just constants, but I don't want text. And when I click OK, it selects all the numbers on the whole sheet. I can apply a format to this, which is great. Another option Another reason why you might want to select all the data on the sheet but none of the formulas is if I want to recycle this. If I want to use this again and someone's made a perfectly good report and I decide, well, I'd like to just make that a little, I'd like to use this again. So I'm going to just delete all of the numbers on the whole sheet but leave all the formulas. Well, this is a lot of selecting, and if I forget something in some place, this could impact the whole result. So again, I can hit Control G, Special. I can go to Constants. Try it again. Hit Control G, Special, Constants, but not text. Hit OK. And this selects all the numbers, and I can push Delete, and I can make like a template out of pretty much any file that I've had. I'm going to hit Control Z to put that back and put this in place. Now, here's another exciting feature that I'd like to just show you is you can, sometimes you can't see the forest for the trees. There's just so much data on here in these totals. And I really want to summarize this data. So under the Data tab, there's a grouping option. And I can hit Auto Outline. And when I do this, it looks at the range of each of these sums and expands this so that I can collapse this data down to level 1 or level 2 or level 3, depending how many layers of summing I have. I can also do it here, level 1 and level 1. And now I can expand to whatever area I want there and whatever area I'd like to see here. And so it lets me drill in. And if I would like to just explode one area, I can expand or collapse a single area. Let's try the assignment. One more time, I'm going to select this, and I can hit Alt equals. I can do one at a time. If I'm courageous, I can do this a few at a time. I'm going to add a total across the bottom. I'm going to use my Go To Special to select all the formulas, and I can apply a special format to that. And then I'm going to go to the Data tab. I'm going to go to Group and Auto Outline. And in your assignment, I've asked you to collapse to level 2 and level 2. And when I select all of these numbers, down at the bottom, you can see an average of those numbers, a count of those numbers, or a sum of those numbers in the status bar. To remove Auto Outline, go to Ungroup and hit Clear Outline just to return the data back to the way it was.